the skipper, who had plenty to say. We'll talk about that in a short while as the two teams line up for the national anthems.
Bangunlah badannya.
Good mix of fans here in the National Stadium. I'm here with Rish Roshan Rai as we look at the lineups today. And there are changes for Singapore. They make 4 of them from the side that lost to Thailand's second string in that final group match. We see Nazrul Nazari come back into the starting lineup. Song Woo-young returns after not coming off the bench in that last game. And Nur Adam Abdullah also goes into that left back position because of Shakir Hamza's injury. He is out for the tournament, and it is going to be a back 3 with those fullbacks or wingbacks pushing further up, you would think. And Song Woo-young is playing to the left of Shadan Sulaiman. Iksan and Faris Ramli up top. The players that drop out, Zulkarnain Suzliman is on the bench. As I mentioned earlier, no Shakir Hamza for the rest of this tournament, which of course is a big miss for this side. Amir Shahin is the other one that doesn't start today. They're the two skippers. Asnawi on your right from Indonesia, Haris Harun, the Singapore skipper. Officials all from Korea, Kim Hee-gon is the man in charge. We have a Korean coach as well, if you recall, for the Indonesians, Shin Tae-yong, and there is his starting lineup. They make 2 changes from the side that so thrillingly beat Malaysia here on Sunday, with Rizky Ridho Ramadhani coming into defence, and up the other end, Dedik Setiawan is the striker. And this is the interesting thing. They are looking to play a 5-4-1 today, something that they employed against the Vietnamese to great effect, but certainly not something we expected in this match here against Singapore. The ones to miss out, Ezra Walian is on the bench, and Ramai Ramakek is suspended. Moments of remembrance for family, friends, colleagues, and every person, of course, who has passed on due to COVID-19, hence the tagline, emerging stronger together. As I mentioned, Rish Roshan Rai, he's so excited next to me. I know he can hardly wait for this one, Roshan.
Really looking forward to this game of football. A young, vibrant, exciting Indonesian side with a wonderful attacking mentality and a spirit and a fight about them, and then this Singapore side into the first semi-final since 2012, looking to create even more history, playing at home after a bit of a blow against Thailand, suffering that defeat, looking to show everyone that it was just a one-off and that they are ready to make an impact and make their mark here on this semi-final.
What did you make of the formation that the Indonesians in particular are employing? They're both going with three central defenders.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? With both these teams going with what looks like a system that plays five at the back. But for Singapore, with Zulfahmi in there, he can just step into midfield as well if they need him to. So he could even be a four at the back for Singapore. At times, Zulfahmi has got that ability. There he is on the ball, just plays a quick pass back to Safwan Baharudin. He can drop in and become a part of that back three. It gives them an option of being an extra body in the midfield as well, in possession. So keep an eye out on that little tactical tweak for Singapore. What's interesting for me here is Song and Faris on either side of Iksan Fandi. Good to see Song back in the lineup. I think, you know, they've been missing his qualities in certain matches. I feel like perhaps he may have just been struggling with a groin issue that he picked up in his first game. So trying to manage his fitness levels, perhaps.
Is that why you think he was saved against Thailand in the Thailand match?
Yeah, and I think what he brings to this side is a lot of power, a lot of energy from those midfield positions, and he knows how to pick out a pass as well. We've seen a couple of lovely through passes from him already. Stand by for these long throws from Pratama Arhan.
Well, what they've got is a man right there to try and make it harder, so he has to go high, and that's good hands from Hassan Sani. Flat kick up immediately. Asnawi puts it right back into the mix. Oh, and there's looking at space there for Singapore on the right-hand side. Song Yung, burst of energy there. Roshan mentioned. Talking of which, now here comes Irfan on the left for Indonesia. Making that run. Wow, this is the kind of start everyone would have wanted.
Yeah, wonderful start to this game. End-to-end at the moment, very early on. It's a nice touch from Dedik Setiawan initially that just put it into the path of Irfan for him to run onto. Good covering from Zulfahmi. Again, benefits of having that extra body at the back there.
Well, there was a lot of thought about Elkan Baggott starting for the first time, but he's back on the bench. The big man, 1.94. They've brought in Rizky, who I thought was the best defender against Vietnam, as they have this corner here. Not quite clear their lines, Singapore, but now they do with the skipper Harris. You could see the idea there, getting it up to his club teammate as well, Song Yung.
Well, that's where Singapore have excelled in these counter-attacking situations. In possession, they have struggled. I don't think they've been very good with the ball. But those transitions, those quick transitions from defense out to attack, especially with Song Yung in the side now, as I said, the ability to carry the ball forward and run at this Indonesian defense, or run into spaces in behind. Also got obviously the power and the pace of Iksan alongside him as well.
There's Nur Adam Abdullah, his first start for Singapore in a competitive fixture, Roshan. I mean, this is nervy stuff, isn't it? For him to be brought in a crucial match like this.
Yeah, big test for the young man, but come back to him as Nazrul picks this one up.
There from Najm Azhari, another one who's come back in. Two new fullbacks today. Nazrul started the first match, but has lost his place with Zulkarnain in the subsequent ones. So that was an interesting change as well on the other side, on the right-hand side. Zulkarnain moving out for Najm Azhari. He's gone for a bit of experience as well.
Yes, yeah, I think so. A bit of experience on that side of the pitch. Needs to keep track of Irfan, but also I think fresh legs there with Nazrul in the side now.
That's a good point you make, Roshan, because we know how good they are on that left-hand side, don't we? Indonesia. Pratama and Irfan. That has stayed in. It won't be a corner.
You know, I in the build-up to this, I was expecting these two sides to make it into the last four of the competition, but this wasn't the semi-final that I was expecting. You know, and it's a credit to Indonesia, the work that they've done in the group stages to make sure that they finish top of the group. And I spoke to Safwan Baharudin recently, and he mentioned that, you know, they're taking this challenge seriously. They know how good this Indonesian side are. At the same time, there was a little bit of relief. You know, I think they were expecting that, having finished runner-up in their group, they were going to be taking on Vietnam in the semi-final.
Yeah, I don't think many people would have figured Vietnam finishing second in their group. There's an important challenge there. Safwan. Of course, this is the first of two legs, so
yes,
you can afford to be a little bit conservative today. You don't have to go for it because you still have a second leg to come, and but maybe that's gone into the thinking of the coaches. Yeah,
that's exactly it, right? Nobody wants to leave themselves too exposed in the first leg and then have to chase the game in the second leg. So you want to be careful as well. Even if you do concede, you don't want to let the game sort of run away with you. Remember, you've got another 90 minutes to get that goal back if you need to. So don't take too many risks.
Enough noise in the crowd, mainly at the moment coming from the Indonesians, who were terrific, the fans, as well as the team. They kind of played off each other, didn't they?
Yeah.
On Sunday.
Yeah, wonderful atmosphere. And we touched on that in the last game. We've spoken about this. We've been fortunate enough to do a couple of matches at Bishan Stadium with Group B, and we had the Vietnamese fans as well who've been incredible. So it's a credit to all the fans. I mean, the Singapore fans as well who've come out in support of their side. So you see Faris just taken out there. First opportunity from a set piece for Singapore.
This is their strength, isn't it, for Singapore? And Shin Tae-yong took great pains to point this out. 4 goals from set pieces for Singapore of their 7 in this tournament. Shahdan Sulaiman, great ball in. Looks like Iksan got a touch on it. Asking for a corner, not going to get it.
Yeah, the quality on the deliveries have been very good. And here Shahdan again just comes off Indonesian defender there. I think it's Fakhruddin. Well defended. He made sure he tracked the run of Irfan all the way in. Really good ball from Shahdan.
There's Alfredan Debanga, who's been a versatile player for Indonesia.
Well, we spoke about Zulfahmi for Singapore stepping forward into midfield. Alfiandra can do exactly that for Indonesia as well. So you've got these players. You see Nadeo putting it out play, but you've got these players who have got the capability to give you a bit of that tactical flexibility. They can step into that back line, play in that back 5 or that back 3, depending on the phases of possession, and then they can push into midfield as well when you do have control of the ball and you're looking to try and build out in that possession phase.
The Singapore fans now making their own noise. Got the roof covered as well, so it all stays in here. Really adds to the atmosphere. I think the scary thing, Roshan, is the bulk of that defence are some of them are teenagers still. The rest are in their early 20s, more or less. It just stands them in great stead, doesn't it? This is outside of the three minnows in this competition, Cambodia, Laos and Timor-Leste. They are the youngest squad in this competition. Singapore, the oldest squad, at almost 28 years of age.
It's a wonderful contrast, and the two different styles, I would say, or perspectives from these two sides, and where they each are in their phases of development. With Shin Tae-yong, I think very much looking at trying to bring through that next generation of talent and molding them into this aggressive, attacking, high-intensity team that he wants them to be. And I mentioned this, with younger players, it can sometimes be easier to get your ideas across to them, and they're more willing to take those on. And I think for Indonesian players as well, it's good to be exposed to that sort of coaching, that sort of level of coaching, and that sort of level of professionalism, and those sorts of qualities that he has, Shin Tae-yong. It just exposes you. It's a matter of education as well.
Yeah, he's proved he's very much his own man, and there was pressure on him to pick, for example, Ilya Spasejovic, who has got more international goals than all the other forwards that have been picked in this squad. It doesn't fit his system. That's a lovely ball over for Irfan from Alfrianda Dewanga. Away by Irfan.
Yeah, it's not even just about fitting into the system. It's about how he gets along with the rest of the team, the rest of the squad, and you know, and that's so important, especially in a tournament like this, where you're going to be stuck together for a while in that bubble. You know, and this is something that Tatsuma Yoshida spoke about. It's a great challenge.
Great mark there, isn't it, from Song Wei-young. He's rode out the challenge as well, up to Faris Rumley on the left-hand side, flip to Singapore. We need to put a much better ball in for Iksan Fundi. Breaking news, of course, leading up into this match, is that Iksan Fundi, who was poised to play in the top flight of Norwegian football with his club FK Yerv, has just made the move to his brother's club in Thailand, who's in this team as well. Irfan Fundi, he's going to BG Pathum, Russia. What do you make of that one?
We'll come back to that.
Asnawi. Let's put out for a corner.
Well worked by Indonesia there, just to play through the middle initially, just draw Singapore into these narrow positions, and then release Asnawi in its space out wide on the right-hand side. Isn't enough cross. Safwan heading it away. Yeah, interesting one. The timing of the announcement coming just before this match. Wonder what the thinking was behind that. There must have been some discussions with the player about it. It's an interesting move. We'll see how the set piece develops before we investigate that further.
Oh, a bit of a flap there from Hassan Sunny. A pretty good tournament so far, the veteran keeper.
Pratama Arhan, we know he's got wonderful technique and delivery on his left foot. Not just about his throw-ins, we saw him score a brilliant goal against Malaysia last time out. High energy, great work rate, gets up and down that left-hand side.
Successive corner here for Indonesia. Near post. This time pretty well dealt with from Zulfami. And a quick ball up. It's a good ball as well, but it just curves away from Faris. You see the idea from Haris Harun. It's a clear strategy, isn't it, Roshan?
Yeah, I mean, look, go for it in those situations as well with Asnawi. Credit to him on that occasion. He defended that really well. Read the pass, read the bounce of it, came across and cut out that danger.
Fundi is there to clear it away. Up to the other Irfan.
I wonder how long he's going to be playing alongside his brother at BG Pathum, because there's talk about Irfan moving on from BG Pathum. Rumours that John Book are looking at him.
Yep.
If they can stump up the cash.
That's a fair amount as well. $1 million. Now, here is that long throw, and this time it's a much longer run-up. He's got the space on this side. Pratama, they've not put a man on him this time. Should be straightforward for Hassan. And again, an immediate release. He's slipped as he was just about to make contact with the ball. Big divot there from him.
Well, that's the great thing about Hassan. And Singapore here, with these long throws, obviously they would have looked at that, they would have studied it, they would have worked on it on the training ground. What Singapore do have is at least they have height at the back. We know aerially they are strong, and Hassan is a very confident and experienced goalkeeper. He's been one of Singapore's best players, I think, in this competition.
That's where Iksan went to the ball, but I've got to say that's excellent coverage from Alfrianda.
Yeah, it's just scary when you think about the future of Indonesian football. Alfrianda is 20, Pratama Arhan
Just
19.
turned 20
Just turned 20
yesterday.
just
Happy
yesterday. Happy
birthday
birthday to Pratama
Yeah.
Arhan. Rizky Ridho, 20 years of age. Wow.
Asnawi's 22.
Yes, Asnawi 22 playing in Korea.
Here we go now. Here's Song. Oh, that was a good intervention. And on the rebound. Singapore denied anyway. It would have been offside.
Well, this is encouraging play from Singapore. If you're a Singapore fan, you see the variance in the runs there. Iksan just peeling off towards the near post. Oh, I tell you what, he doesn't catch that one well at all. Mistimes the hit on that. He's going to be disappointed with himself because when I spoke to him after he scored those 2 goals, oh, Adam has gone in with a high challenge.
What a
Could be in
great one.
trouble
That
here.
looks bad. I don't think there's any malice in that. He's apologising.
It's a terrible challenge from Norada. Be very fortunate if he gets away with it.
He's been told just to quickly walk away from this one.
Oh, I mean, look, he's got his eyes on the ball, sure, but can't go flying into your position like that.
But to clear Roshan, you feel the worst it would be is a yellow, and it is, isn't it? So, do you think it could be worse?
Listen, I've
You think
seen
it'd be worse?
I've seen sending offs for that, for challenges like that. We've seen it in the world of football,
Yeah.
haven't we? You know, his knee is essentially gone with a knee to Witan's chest in that situation.
Yellow card it is. I think it ended up being one of those that probably looked worse than it was because he got up fairly quick. It did look pretty bad, didn't it? The contact made. Murad has got a yellow card, a pretty early one as well. Away by Zulfami. Also taken there by Forrest, and a good touch on by Ricky Kambuaya. Here's Irfan. Side, Pratama. Nazrul and him having a nice, decent battle. Fairly even Stevens at the moment for you?
Yeah, nice even contest at the moment, and I think the Indonesia-Malaysia game, you remember how quick the pace and the tempo was in that one. We haven't seen that sort of intensity yet in this match, and that's completely understandable. Very early on.
Yeah. Also because it was that one-off, effectively.
That's
wasn't
right.
It was almost a winner-take-all, wasn't it?
I think Shin Tae-yong mentioned something about the first 2 matches of this competition being a way for them to sort of get into the rhythm of play. And I mean, they blew those 2